Have you ever thought about teaching online? If your answer is yes, have you ever thought about many technologies or tools that you can use in the delivery of your online course? Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well and safe. Welcome to our lesson in which we are going to develop the topic the tools of online teaching, in which we are going to take into account the following topics: how to use technology appropriately, technology concerns, tips for adopting and working with coursework, and also we are going to talk about two many amazing technological tools that we can use in our online classes. So let's get started. What is online teaching? Well, online teaching refers to a process of educating or teaching our students via internet. To do this, we can use some methods such as video calls, group video calls, webinars, or video conferences. However, we as teachers must know how to use technology appropriately. What does it mean? Well, this means that just because technologies are available, it is not obligation to use them. Because for one group, chat discussions can work, but for others, what can work can be whiteboard discussions and video conferences. Therefore, teachers must know how to use technology appropriately. To do this, teachers have to take into account many factors, such as the age of students, culture, and socioeconomic backgrounds. But why? And sometimes we ask our students to use some platforms, but we don't know if they are able to use them, or if they have a computer, or if they have a computer, maybe their computer don't work well, or sometimes they don't have a good internet connection. Therefore, we have to pay careful attention to those details. And if we find a problem, we also have to look for a possible solution. However, there is a very important factor, or let's say the most important factor in the delivery of our online course. And this is that students need a teacher. Let's say they need a caring concert teacher who is confident. And also, students need a teacher who has or maintains a high level of interaction. Let me tell you that there are three different types of interactions, and interactions between teachers and students, learners among learners, and the last interaction there is between students with the content. Therefore, interaction is an important factor that a teacher has to maintain in the delivery in the delivery of the online course, because if interaction doesn't take place, students may think that their teachers are not paying attention to them, or that they don't care about their learning. Interaction is very important because that helps the teaching and online process run smoothly. And also, interaction helps students to become more active in their learning and in their learning process. Therefore, as I said to you before, interaction is very important because the instructor has to be there, has to be available to help their students. Of course, Students have to know that there is a established schedule for them to ask a question to their teachers, right? So also let me tell you that the instructor is the key factor to make the course work regardless of regardless of the technological issues or any other problem, because teachers are the ones who have to care about students learning.
To continue with the topic, we're going to see some of the concerns. First of all, we have when money is an issue. So we have money and education. So money matters, resources that cost money matter, and a more equitable distribution of school funding can improve outcomes, right? And also, many of the ways in which schools currently spend money do improve students' outcomes. But now, let's see about the institutions. So, in many institutions, the online teaching cannot be adopted because of the acquisition of hardware and software. And this happens because the majority of those institutions simply don't have budget or the ability to purchase servers and license for software, right? Also hire support personnel or pay high fees to a company that is willing to host and maintain their courses. And also nowadays, to have access to this new method of teaching, right, is common to get. But as it was mentioned before, not all the institutions have that opportunity. And it is true that there are some companies that offer their services with low costs. But to get it, it must have money. And also, when schools have more money or have money, they have greater opportunities to spend productively. But when they don't, they can't. So, if the institutions want to get into the online area, the money shouldn't be considered as an obstacle. So, to give online teaching a try, they only need the moral, logistical, and minimal financial support to get started. So now, continue with the topic. We have access. So we have access is a major concern. And we have access, right? Access, what is access? So access, we have the technology is more than just providing devices and connectivity to students. It is also involved making sure every student has the opportunity to learn from a teacher who understands how to use the technology, right? But now let's see the accessibility. So, accessibility issues are not big deals in online learning, but it is important to mention that access can be a problem for students, right? So, for example, we have students who own an older computer. So their computers are not going to work properly because of the lack of updates some programs need, right? Also, we have right here the concern. For example, one of the problems with accessibility can come from the use of graphic or audio content on websites or course sites, right? So, besides, it is necessary to take a look in the websites that are going to be used with the students. And a good way to ensure accessibility by all students is to keep the design as simple as possible. And to do so, it is important to engage in thoughtful planning, keeping learning objectives in mind. And we have it over here. We have the objectives. Okay, we have a course must be aesthetically pleasing. Okay, even if it doesn't have complex graphics. Also, a simple course designs, making minimal use of technological bells Also, learners can do learning objectives through the use of discussion, and we have the needs of the learners are kept primary, right? So now over here, knowing this, it is stated that technology needs to be treated as just another learning tool because technology is only a vehicle to meet learning objectives. But now we're going to see the tools that a teacher can use. We have tools of online teaching. We have the tools. It says when you are searching for that perfect free tool, right, you will often find that once the trial ends, that resource comes with a price. But if you are on a budget, these tools will give you what you need to get started and deliver excellent online classes. So we have over here some tools. We have Nearpod, we have Boom Cards, GoToMeeting, Prezi, Asana, Zoom. Also, we have Google Meet, we have Classroom, and we have some others. So it is incredible. It is incredible how many free resources are available online, and using the right tools can ensure that your classes run smoothly. Although technology glitches at unpredictable moments, you can always limit the chances of these happening by knowing what options you have for teaching your virtual classes. So now, while there are hundreds of free teaching tools for teachers online, there are free teaching tools to get you started and help you with creating engaging lessons, organizing your busy teacher life also, and running your online and virtual classes. So now my classmate is going to continue with this presentation.
Opportunity, I'm going to talk about a very useful tool that most of the teachers and students use nowadays. I'm going to talk about Edmodo. First of all, I want to make you a question. Do you know what Edmodo is? If not, I'm going to give you a short definition. Edmodo is a social learning platform that students use to manage online instruction. Edmodo can be incorporated into the classroom through a variety of applications. Now, it's time to know what are the benefits of using Edmodo. Benefits for teachers. They can create an account, a class, and their first assignment or quiz in some minutes. And also they can invite students and parents to join through a class code, an email, or a handout. Once students have joined, they will be able to see content, manage deadlines, receive and submit assignments, and interact with the teacher and other classmates by participating in activities and writing tasks that include files, links, and media. Having an Edmodo page allows teachers to give immediate feedback to their students. For example, teachers can reply to their hosts asking to them to edit certain parts or expand on others. Now, let's move on to the benefits for students. Number one, Edmodo allows students to upload assignments for their teachers to view and grade. Number two, students can take instant quizzes and get a feedback at the same time. Number three, students who are normally shy in the classroom can take advantage of Edmodo and use it to speak right group. privately with the teacher. Number 4, Edmodo allows students to communicate with the teacher directly or ask questions of their peers on the public wall when working through tasks at home. So, if you are not using this platform, I invite you to use it as soon as possible because using a model is an enjoyable experience for the ones who are involved. Thank you very much.
I'm going to continue talking about some problems that can appear on online classes. And as we know, accessibility is the main concern or issue for students to connect to online classes. So I would like to commence from that point on because if students don't have a stable connection, we are not going to achieve the learning process we want them to be in. They will have many doubts or lack of learning. And in this case, we need to focus on having the best results for them to learn. Therefore, we have to adapt the tools required for reaching it. And here I have some tips for adopting and working with courseware. And the first tip I have is that we need to focus on reaching really good outcomes. That's why at the time of using any tool, we need to think if it will work in the way we expect or if the results will be the ones we thought of. But in here, not only we need to adopt tools, thinking about the outcomes, if not applying them in an accurate way as well, because we are not going to get what is expected if we don't give them the accurately and wisely usage for the purpose of we got. A second tip is that we have to think that online classes or online learning is not alone learning. This is really, really important to understand because many teachers just give students work after work without giving them any prior instruction. And the different types of tools that exist can help to solve such situation because we can have meetings with wonderful presentations or interactions and become them interesting for students so that we teachers and students learn as a whole unit. The third tip I have is that you have to recognize and appreciate the value of collaboration. You have to engage in all group activities as these arise within your course, including formal or informal opportunities. You have to make use of the university social platforms that are available for us. You have to frequent interaction with other students, combat isolation, and increases other own senses of connectedness. Also, creating study groups will keep you connected and help support one another. The dialogue and critical reflection that occur through peer-to-peer interaction allows you to really engage in the course materials and think more about your own learning and progress. And the last tip I have, and I would like to mention this principally, is that we must create an environment in which students feel free to open their mind, feelings, and knowledge, because in this way, what we want to achieve will become easier by the facilities that will be implied on. As we know, there are too many tools that they can help us accomplish this through audios, videos, platforms, or apps, or just by giving them what they look forward to opening in such a way that what we are doing can be beneficial and rewarded for both parts.